All right. Okay. When is your birthday?
October 27th, 1990.
October 27th, 1990. So you're about to turn 34.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yay, math.
Happy early birthday. So this is Sarah's 34th birthday interview.
So if you think about it, Seth is a year and a week older than me.
A year and a week.
A year, a month, and a week older than me.
Oh, cool. 1 and 1 and 1.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. Let's jump in.
All right.
Do you have a favorite moment from this past year?
Oh, there's so many. They kind of blur together.
Well, tell me top 10.
Recently was watching Seth and JD on the little tractor ride.
Mm-hmm.
It was really like JD grabs the steering wheel. Seth puts him in and buckles in. JD grabs the steering wheel and it was like super serious, like 2 hands on the wheel. I gotta focus. I gotta drive. And Seth is like trying to crawl into the little barrel next to him, and his knees are like rammed up on the edge of the barrel. And JD is just super serious, like, "Let's go."
Nice.
Is it Rin?
Yep. Do you have another one? Did you
We'll go with that for now. There's so many, like, you know, JD, like the other day, it was my turn to sleep in, and Seth's taking stuff out to the car, and he just knocks on the door. He goes, "Mama," like he's looking for me, and I'm like, "Aw." It's like, yeah, I am loved.
Nice. It's just a short little moment, but it was really nice.
Yeah, like I'm not, you know, I read a lot of stuff on I did read a lot of stuff on Instagram on like how to be a parent and like how to be grateful, and it's like, because it's really overwhelming and stressful at first. It's a whole learning curve.
Sure.
It's like, but one thing was like, your baby's never going to be this small again.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, okay, yes, he just shit his diaper like 6 times and I'm overwhelmed, but he looked really cute when he was like, "Mom," because he doesn't feel good and he wants snuggles, and you know, I'm only going to be able to hold him for so long.
Ow. Come on, cat. You goofball. Said, "I want attention." Yeah, so I guess you got to pay attention to the little moments, because
they're not going to be little forever.
Yeah, that's so true. Okay, question 2, if I can get to it. Okay, did you try something new this past year?
Yeah, not working.
Yeah.
So there's a whole thing going on. My OB wrote a note saying I shouldn't lift over 30 pounds and like I can't sit or stand for too long. And then my job was like, "Well, you can't work for us doing that." And then the city was like, "We have one light duty spot, but we need clarification on like how long you can sit and stand." So I told my OB that, and she still hasn't gotten back to them. And the city was just like, "Well, we don't have light duty anymore, so you're just on FMLA." So I'm not really working right now. And it's kind of like the first time since I was like 16 that I'm not working. Wow. I'm like, this is awkward. I don't like this.
No.
I mean, I like it, but I'm also like, I don't know. My security net. No, there's so many things to do. Like lounge on the couch, or there's like I have a laundry list of things I want to get done. I was like, I should get it done before I'm too round to do it.
Yeah.
Like clear out more stuff. Annabelle passed away. Like take her kennel down. That'll be a sad moment, but it's like on the list of things to do. Mm-hmm. You want a free cat? Yeah. Great interview company.
Yes. It'd be a great prop. Cool. So how long have you not been working?
2 weeks.
Yeah. And it's already like, what the hell?
Yeah. Well, I'm very much like, I grew up in an unfinancially secure home. Mm-hmm. So like not bringing in money, like Seth's not going to let me fall or trip or anything like that. Like we're going to be okay financially, but it just makes me nervous.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, what can I do from home that's not talking on the phone with angry people?
Right.
Because most work from home jobs are like customer service jobs. And like,
yeah,
no,
thanks. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll figure out how to sell my pictures of my toes online or something.
Fucking feet finder. And I got a fucking spam message for that. Set up your account today.
Of your toes, please.
Nah.
Just send a picture of Ren's feet.
No, that would be so funny. All right. How long did you take off when you had JD?
3 months, but you're so sleep deprived when that happens, you don't even realize you're not working.
Yeah,
you're like, I have to feed, it's been 2 hours, I have to feed the baby. And it's like, even when I did go back to work after having JD, I'd like wake up every 2 hours. I'm like, oh, I should feed the baby. I'm like, oh, he's not here with me because I'm at work for 48 hours. I'm like, okay, I'm going to just check on him on the nanny cam and I'm going to put on my pump stuff. But like, you're just so tired. Like, we have an app to help remind us. Like, not so much as like to feed him, but like, oh, okay, so he did go to the bathroom the right amount of times. Because the first thing you go to the pediatrician, they're like, how many times has he pooped in the last 3 days? And you're like, who am I?
Yeah.
That's my son. That's my husband. Today is Tuesday, right? What was the question?
Yeah. No, I'm not keeping track of that.
Yeah. So like,
but I guess you got to.
Yeah. Seth was pretty on it. And it was his idea to get the app. But like, yeah, we were both. It was lucky he took that month off, or those 3 months off, because we both would have died from lack of sleep. And then he killed it as a stay-at-home dad and full-time student, like, for 3 months after that. And then he was like, help, I need to take care. This shit's getting hard at the end. And I was like, okay, makes sense.
Yeah. Wow. So how long are you going to be off now? Do you know?
This baby's due in March. So it'll be another 3... March, April, May. Probably until May. And then that'll... Let's see... October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Oh my God. 8 months.
You're going to be off 8 months?
Yeah. It's terrifying.
Wow. That sounds awesome. Sounds awesome to me. Yeah, but no, financially speaking, that sounds scary.
We're going to be living on Lunchables.
Yeah, there you go. No, that sounds gross. Do you guys eat Lunchables?
No, JD just had his first Lunchable yesterday, and that's what made me think of it. And he just he liked the snacks, so he kept stealing the cookies out of everyone's Lunchables and pissing off all the other kids. I'm like, you can't do that!
Yeah.
I had to give everyone vanilla wafers to replace their Oreo cookies, because JD like took all of them and like licked each one, or took a bite out of one of them.
Right.
It's like, cool. JD, savage. I don't know if you know this, but you're systematically terrorizing all the other children and bullying them.
Yeah. Wow. Damn. 8 months. Well, good luck.
Yeah. I'm actually more terrified. Like, I'll go back to work and I'm like, how do I job?
Yeah. Can I go back home?
Yeah. This is weird. I'm supposed to be here for 48 hours? You know how long I've been home?
Wow. Cool. All right. Question 3. What is something that used to be difficult but is now easy?
It's going to be hard to... So, like, I used to be a lot more anxious about JD. Like, when I would, like, wake up, it's time to feed the baby, sometimes I would wake up in between and be like, oh, the baby stopped breathing. And, like, have to... So, it's, like, cool. Every 2 hours, not only would my body wake me up because it's, like, time to feed the baby, or I would also have, like, nightmares that he stopped breathing. But, like, as he gets older, the chances of that go down. Like, when I was so anxious when I was pregnant with him. I was scared to walk in a parking lot by myself because I was convinced somebody was, like, going to hit me, because it was such an ordeal to get pregnant with him and all of that. The IVF.
You got super precious cargo.
Yeah. And now it's like, I just put our whole family in, like, financial jeopardy trying to have, like, a baby because it's so expensive. And then, like, I was just, like... And then my job was inherently dangerous. So it was during, like, not the high parts of COVID. We were still, like, coming out of COVID. And, like, you'd see COVID around, like, the holidays and stuff. And I'm just on the ambulance, like, super pregnant. And they don't have, like, maternity shirts. So I'm wearing, like, a 4X shirt. And people just assume, like, you're fat. And it's like, cool. And so it's like, cool, not only am I helping you, you're mean and nasty to me, and you're super contagious, like, I'm also, like, putting my baby at risk and myself at risk. And But so I've definitely managed to kind of like let go of some of that. Like JD now has an immune system or is a stronger immune system, and he's not as fragile. So it's just like, no, it's not, I remember we went to your birthday party in February, and like he was just turned 2 months old, like a week before that. And I just like had him strapped to me, and everyone was like, can I hug him? Can I touch him? I'm like, no, it's mine.
Yeah.
It's like, this is mine.
Yeah.
I think I let your sister hold him just because we don't get to see her that often. And I was like, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, now, I guess when they start walking and... Yeah, they do seem less fragile.
Yeah, they like bump into things and you're like, oh, they're not going to die of like a brain bleed. Yeah. My job doesn't help because like you show up when the bad things happen to people's babies or like to people in general. So you're like, bad things happen to everybody. It's not just like good people or bad people. So it's like, my kid could accidentally fall down the steps and like die of a slow brain bleed. And it's like, oh, cool. Now that was a fear I have,
and you see that crazy stuff.
So it's really nice that a lot of those have kind of like melted away. I was like, wow, I did not realize what an anxious wound up clock I was. And now I'm just like, oh, you fell, JD? Good job, buddy. Get up.
Yeah.
You'll be all right.
Yeah. I feel like
him falling into the wall and headbutting the wall right before the interview. And Seth's like, can I give him noggin? I'm like, you can, but he just noggin the wall. He's okay. But
you can definitely feel it. That you're not as anxious?
Yeah, I would wake up at work and like check the video, like the baby nap camera, and like I would zoom in and be like, I think he's breathing.
Wow.
Did he move in his sleep? Like, yeah, it was bad.
Okay.
And then at work they were like, what's wrong? You look like you didn't get any sleep. I'm like, well, I have to get up every 2 hours to pump, and then my anxiety is like, is your baby sleeping? And like the little bit I get to sleep in between the running 911 calls and like the tones dropping off for the other station for their 911 calls. So it's just like, no, I need to sleep. He's like, why? Don't ask me, dude. Don't ask me.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're getting over that anxiety. All right, question 4. If you could create a rule that everyone had to follow, what would it be?
It would be slow the fuck down in the daycare parking lot.
Oh, yeah.
So when it's my turn to drop JD off, it's something, I guess most people go to work about 8, 9, anywhere from like 7 to 8. I feel like everyone just shows up at 8. Mm-hmm. And it's like the 8:30 is the last bit to drop off your kids. But like I have like we're teaching JD, well, he's pretty good at it, but holding hands in the parking lot, and you have to hold our hands. And, how well can you see over your car? Like, you don't generally see somebody tiny if they're very close.
No.
So, like, he's got to be near me so they see me and, or Seth. But, like, people are late for work, and they're, like, flying in and, like, grab a spot. And I'm like, you could have hit somebody's child. You could hit my child. Like, you could have hit me. You can hit me and both my children, because now I got another one. Like,
yeah.
So like they fly in, like there's one, it's like this janky van, and they have like a magnet sticker on their side of their, and I think it's like a house cleaning that they do. Mm-hmm. I don't know, they must be late all the time, but they have like 4 kids, and they're unloading the van, and they always whip in, and they always park like right in front of the door. And I'm just like, hi, not only did you almost hit me and my kid, like you're blocking the entrance. Cool.
Gosh. And these are people dropping off their kids, and they're also just flying in their cars. There's
like a gray F-150 that every time it starts moving, it sounds like part of the engine's going to fall out somewhere. But he flies in there too, and like, how taller your car is, the more you can't see littles. Yeah. And I'm like, cool, bro. Any faster, and you would have just gone through the parking lot and out into the woods.
Gosh.
But
do they have speed bumps?
They don't have speed bumps. It would be good though. They have an incredibly tiny parking lot, so anybody like with a truck has to do like a 6-point turn to like get out, or they have to back straight out. And but you have to eventually find a spot at the top to like turn around, because the street's just too busy. Like the street you come off of, I think the speed limit's like 45, so I can kind of get what people are whipping in a little bit, but like also slow the fuck down.
Yes, you should just go in one night and put your own speed bumps in.
Rin, we're gonna make them all look like you. Some people drive over and go, meow.
Yeah.
Meow,
oh man, that would be scary. Like, I just run over a cat.
Did you ever see that old meme where it was like New Zealand or somebody, the guy in the neighborhood put down his own speed bump? It was definitely fake, but like it launched the car up 60 feet into the air. It was like it was like early Vine or something, and it was like New Zealand or Australia, and it was this old guy, and he was like, I put out my own speed bump so those damn teenagers will slow down. And it was like industrial sized spring, and it was like one of the speed bumps that are like the whole width of the table, and so he waited for the car to get like completely over it, or that's how they filmed it, and then the car just launches like 60 feet into the air and like flips over. And it's like a rusty ass old Honda with like a spoiler, so it sounds like a race car. And I was like, yeah, I kind of get that now. I get that joke now.
Yeah. You're gonna be doing that. Damn. So y'all both got traffic rules.
Well, so the fastest you drive in Maryland is 75, and you're lucky if you don't get a speeding ticket. But also, we don't have like the U-turns that like you guys have like off of 35. Our
Like,
big ones are
on the service road.
Yeah, and we don't have service roads. So like our big main highways, or the big main highways I drove was 100, 95, and 97. And you have clovers. So like if you miss your exit, you get off on the clover, you have to go and get back on, and you have to go up to the next exit and get off on the opposite side and then go down.
Okay.
And so like it's like, oh shit, I missed my turn. I'm probably going to have to go either like a mile down the road, and I could be in another town, or like I might still be in the same town. I might know a different way to go. But here it's just like, oh, I can just U-turn.
Yep.
And like the service roads, everyone does like 50 because 35 you have to do 80 or you're gonna get run over.
Yeah.
I remember when we were moving here, my turn to drive from Arkansas onto 35, like Texas 35, and I'm sitting there like white knuckling it in the slow lane doing 80 and then like freaking out and quietly, and Mike sitting next to me, and he was looking at like the Arkansas signs. He's like, man, there's another one. Another what? And he's like, people in Arkansas really like Arkansas. Like, they have an outline of their state on, like, all of their signs. And I was like, have you met Texans? And, like, everybody knows the Texan flag. You guys put Texas flag on everything.
Yeah.
Like, the next popular flag to, like, the American flag. He's like, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
And I'm just, like, white-knuckling it, like, this is the fastest I've ever driven in my life.
Yeah.
Like, and all of my valuables are in my car and Seth's truck, and I'm just like, somebody hits us, like, we're going to die on impact, like, my TV's going to come forward and smush us.
Wow. Welcome to Texas.
Yeah. But it just, Mike's just like, like, this is normal day.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Like, oh, and now I'm used to it. Like, I get kind of annoyed when the new people are out of town and like, oh, you're doing 75 in the slow lane. Good luck, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to just get over and go around you.
Yeah. That's funny. 75 is slow.
Yeah, like, I don't want to tailgate anybody, but I don't want to like put pressure on them. So I was like, I'm just going to go around them.
Well, I'm glad you're acclimated. All right, question 5. What do you love to do that no one knows about?
I like to read comics on my phone. They're like called web comics. There's like 3 different apps that I will read stories, and they're usually like rom-coms or fantasies. Like, I love reading, but just something about scrolling through and having the satisfaction of a picture, not a lot to read, and get the idea of the story. It's very nice. And I went on like 2 days with this guy back when I was like 19. He's a big comic nerd. Mm-hmm. And he's like, let me show you my prize collection. Like, opens this washroom, and it's like all these white boxes. I didn't know then. I was like, oh, this is where we're going to see something weird. And it was like their comic book boxes that you help keep them stored. And he had like maybe like 200 of these white boxes that hold anywhere from like 10 to 20, I'm not quite sure, like comics in it. And it's like his prize collection of all. I was like, so now older I get, I'm like, I'm glad I didn't really get into comics until I was older. They're on my phone. Yeah, I don't want to have to like inventory all of this boxes of comics.
Comics. Yeah. I mean, I never got into comics.
I mean, they're fun, but also it's stuff you have to inventory. Like, I really like my bookcase, and I really want more bookcases, but I also really hate dusting my bookcase.
Yeah. Takes up space.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just put it on your phone. Cool. Number 6. When was the last time you were proud of yourself?
I don't know. There's a lot of like little moments. Like I was painting Fawn, a friend of a friend's shop. Fawn is her name. I'm painting the bathroom for her. And I don't know why, but the paint wouldn't stick on this fucking wall. It's like they sealed this wall and it would like suck back into itself and kind of make like a spider pattern. I was like, Fawn, I can paint this bathroom. And it's a pretty standard sized bathroom. I was like, I can probably paint this bathroom in like 5 hours, trim and everything. No. I was wrong. I was still wrong. It took me like 3 hours to get paint to stick on that one wall. Like I got everywhere else pretty much done. And like I was waiting for that to dry so I can like switch the tape to make sure I didn't get, the different color paint around the trim or on the trim. And like this one wall, it was just like, I was like, Fawn, I'm so sorry. I swear to God, I'm going to get this bathroom done for you. But I was like, now I see why you said it took so long for you to paint. I was like, the paint literally does not want to stick on one of your walls. And she's like, yeah, it's all over the place. And I was like, she's weird. Like, it's a random wall and whatever they did to like seal or fix it. And I was like, huh. And she's like, yeah, so that's why the primer I got is so thick. And I was like, I don't know if that's like helping or part of the problem. I was like, we need to put like adhesive in the primer so it'll stop sucking back into itself and actually stay.
That's weird.
But yeah, I painted that damn wall. Yeah,
and it looks
good.
Normal.
Yeah, it looks like it's a perfectly normal wall.
Good.
I'm like, yes. And then like I'm really proud of myself that like we got this baby to work. The transfer. So JD his IVF transfer like went off without a hitch. And then the second we just thought like, JD, went off without a hitch. Like we don't have to do the egg harvesting for our second baby. Like he's just going to get de-thawed and put in and everything. And I'm going to do the meds and all that. That baby didn't work. And then it was a real big discussion of like, are we going to keep trying? Like, do we have like the brain power to possibly lose another one? Or like, are we brave enough to keep going? Do we have the money to handle like, cause it's not, if you don't have to do like the egg harvest and all of that, it drastically drops in price. Like JD's whole process was $27,000, but because the eggs, we got a bunch of eggs at that time and they were all able to turn into embryos with Seth's stuff. Then, we had genetic testing on 8 of the healthiest ones and only 6 of those made it. And there was like a perfect 3 of girls and a perfect 3 of boys. JD's the first boy. The second healthiest boy didn't work. And this one is the third healthiest boy. But yeah, we were like, are we going to keep trying? And my doctor was like, give it, you got a week to decide. And I was like, okay. And so we decided to keep going and it worked so far. I have to bring him into the world. Yeah. But, yeah, so I was proud that we didn't, like, give up. It was a very hard decision. It's like, cool. Do I have the brain power to, like, go through loss again? But it didn't turn out that way, so thank God.
Wow, good.
Emotional support cat.
Yeah, good. Wow, yeah, that's a lot to handle.
Yeah, sorry. It was, like, fun accomplishment to, like, a deep one.
Yeah, so super deep. Yeah, well... Good. All right.
How's your whiplash? I'm just kidding. Emotional whiplash.
Yeah. Okay, last question. Is there anything you want to accomplish by your next birthday?
Having this next baby and having a margarita. Like, I really want a fucking, like, margarita on my birthday. Because I had JD... and I had gestational diabetes, so I couldn't even eat, like, the fun, like, fall apple pies and stuff. I was just like, damn it, it's, like, my favorite season. And then JD's a year and a half, so, like, the following year, like, I got to have, like, all the tasty food. I was like, yes! And now I don't have gestational diabetes this time. I'm just, like, being cautious. But, like, man... watching Seth have hard cider at the fall festival yesterday, and I was like, I'm so jealous. Like, there's nothing like fall festival, having some hard cider, like walking around, looking at the pumpkins, and I was like, damn, one day I'll get to do that again.
Yeah, it'll be here before you know it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a little thing, but I was just like telling Stephanie and Dana, I was like, man, I want a hard cider, or I want a cup of wine, or I want like one of your specialty margaritas so bad. I was like, it makes me sound like an alcoholic. I really don't drink that often, but now that I can't have it, my brain's like, you want it.
Yeah. Especially the Do you like the ones from Zelix?
I don't know. The last time I went to Zelix, I was pregnant. I haven't seen what they had on there. I haven't been to Zelix in a year, over a year and a half now.
We just went, like 2 months ago. Their frozen strawberry. It was right? Strawberry? No? Mango. So good.
I think I've had that one before. But I really like the frozen lime one. Because that way it's not too sweet. And it's like, I can down like 4 of these and have a really great night. And they're like, what, $2?
Oh,
so
I don't know.
$2 or $3 for like frozen margarita. It's like, hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they're good.
The older I get, the less sweet I can handle. So it's just
really?
like, damn. It's like if I'm going to choose like a sweet alcoholic beverage, I'm going to probably have like 2. And I'm going to just move to something like not as fun, like a White Claw. It's not as sweet.
White Claw. Wow, I love sweets. I could eat a whole cake.
Well, we'll make you a whole cake for your birthday. Make you come down here.
Great, I'll eat the whole thing. I'll regret it. But, yeah.
Sugar high. Sugar coma.
Sugar high, sugar low, for sure. Yeah.
But, yeah, that's something I would like to accomplish is surviving a newborn again.
Yep.
And then, like...
Let's get through that, and then we'll talk about a margarita.
I was joking with the ladies. I was like, yeah, I kind of have mild anxiety. I'm like going to start the diapers all over again. Like I'm going to have one who's going to be potty training. And like they say the most effective way to potty train them is to just put them in underwear. So if they pee, they pee. And it's like, yeah, but if they pee, he's going to be on my couch. Yeah. And then there's pee on my couch. Yeah. And I'm going to have a newborn that like needs to feed and have his diaper changed. And like, I'm going to be chasing around a 2-year-old like, hey, let's go put on, your big boy pants or let's go to the bathroom every 5 seconds. Like, please don't pee on my couch.
You're going to have a blast.
Yeah. Work schmirk. I'll forget I had to go back to work. I'll be like, oh, no.
Wow.
I'm in crazy time.
Wow.
But yeah, that's definitely something I want to accomplish is like my birthday, around my birthday time, just like, hey, I did it. I don't have a toddler and a newborn, or I'll have a toddler, but I won't have like a newborn. They'll still be a baby, but just like, hopefully the toddler will be potty trained and the baby will be less breakable.
Yeah.
Less fragile.
Yeah.
And then I can be like, Seth, I'm going to have a margarita and go to La La Land, and you're going to just take the wheel.
Yep. Damn right. Wow. Yeah, you got a lot coming up.
Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah.
Hit it when I get there and figure it out as I go.
Yeah.
What, you're one of 5. I don't know how your parents did it.
I don't either. I'll think about it all the time. Like, yeah. I know me and Megan were pretty good kids, but those first 3 gave them hell. Man. Yeah, I don't know how they stayed sane. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how your mom stayed sane. 3 boys and then surprise twins and then having to feed twins while wrangling. Because your older brothers aren't that much older than you, right? Like, how old was the oldest when you came out of the hatch?
Like 9. No, it was
okay,
9.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, it was 9, 7, and 5, I think. Their ages.
I really thought, because, I don't know, they're such goofs. I really thought, like, your mom, they were more like 4, 3, and 2 when you and Megan came out of the hatch.
So it was probably a good thing they were that old, right?
Yeah, like, hey, you make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, or you make chicken nuggets.
Yeah, and they're all, I assume, potty trained and all that, so.
Oh man, I would cry if I had a 9-year-old that wasn't potty trained.
Well, yeah,
I mean, it happens, but people get through it. But I would be like, damn, that's so depressing.
There's no way that's ever happened. A 9-year-old not potty trained?
I mean, there's kids with special disabilities and stuff.
Well, yeah.
Do you want to do how we met? Like, because I honestly don't remember how I met for your outro. But I do remember my favorite story of you.
Of me explaining my nickname?
Yes, I fucking love that.
So you...
I never
when Seth
heard
talked about me, like, he would refer to me as Dog, right?
Yeah.
So,
I had no idea what your, like, legal name was.
Yeah, you didn't.
Until I think we were, like, 5 months into dating, and he said, oh, yeah, my friend.
Uh-oh. Nice. Hold that thought. Okay, yeah, so you always knew me as Dog.
Until, like...
You didn't even know my real name.
Yeah, because, like, me and Seth we were in Maryland, and he was like, yeah, we agreed to be official. And then he was like, all right, well, I'm going away for a month next week. And I was like, okay, bye, have fun, love you. And then he came, and that was for Tyler's wedding. It was for Tyler's wedding. And he was like, yeah, I was with my friend Dog. And I had no idea, like, your first name was Dan at all. And then... Oh, I'll call her back. And then...
Dan Dog.
Yeah. And then he came back and he was like, I'm back. And I was like, great. I got all these plans I want to do with you and stuff before I start school. And he was like, I actually have to go away for another month for land nav training. And he's like, I don't know. It's somewhere in New York. And I was like, okay, bye. I love you. And like, he came back and he's like, yeah, my friend Dan talked to me. And I was like, ooh, the fuck is that? I know Mike. I know Dog. I know Ethan. Like, I don't know who Dan is. He's like, oh, no, Dog is Dan. I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, all right. And then I think I had known you. No, it wasn't even a year. We came down for we came down for like 3 weeks in the summer. Mm-hmm. And because we were going to move in the winter down here. And then Bobby surprised us with the wedding. And you're just sitting there and explaining to Hunter your nickname. And you have like, I think you were staring at the beer on the table or the decoration on the table. And you had like your beer in your hand. And like you just got it and you sat down and you're like, Hunter was like, yeah, you can call me Hunter or Moose. He was like, I was chased by a moose in elementary school. And like, and you just 100-yard stare, not very loud, like staring at the coffee table, like, careful what you say, because it's going to come back at you. You say Dan Dog once, and you get called Dog for the rest of your life. You sounded so depressed. I was like, oh, he's having an existential crisis right now. Yeah. Like, maybe we shouldn't let him have more beer. I think that was like your first beer. But you just sounded so sad. I was like, oh, maybe I should make an effort to call him Dan. And I brought it up to him later that night. And he's like, no, we've been calling him Dog for years. It's fine.
Yeah, no. No, that was just when I first said it and all my friends started making fun of me. I hated it. I was like, what? I fucked up. Dan Dog. It's so stupid. But then later, when I was a teenager, my friend Chris just stopped calling me Dan Dog and just started calling me Dog.
And then caught on.
Everyone just called me Dog. And then now I think it's cool.
Well, I mean, Seth's always like trying to get people to give him a nickname because nothing like rhymes with Seth or anything. He's trying for a while. He was like competing with Joe, and he came up with the idea of like pepper, and he was like, yeah, because I'm a little spicy, and like he even bought like a pepper costume for like Halloween. And then I think COVID happened that year, and nobody did Halloween. Yeah.
So you're saying Seth wanted to be Pepper?
Yeah, because he got into smoking on the grill, and he was like, yeah, you can call me Smoky Seth, like that kind of rhymes. And then everyone's like, Smoky Joe sounds better. And Joe's like, Joe has like 1,000 nicknames, so and so Seth was like, so at least you got a nickname. Yeah, you gotta start young. Yeah, I guess so. That's why Seth was like, yeah, we have to give our kid a nickname.
Yeah.
JD is JD.
Or just let him accidentally give himself a nickname.
It worked. It haunted you for years.
Yeah. No, it's fine now. I like it. Yeah, some people at work, because we have 2 Daniels at work, but they just call me Nelson and the other one Anderson, which still, when you look at it real quick, it's also confusing because both our last names end in son. But anyways, they're like, you got another nickname or something? I'm like, my friends call me Dog. Most people are like super weirded out by that nickname. They're like, yeah, I'm not going to call you that.
It's not like, yo, what up, Dog? It's like, hi, I'm Dan Dog.
Yeah, no. And then, my manager, like I have a couple pictures of wolves or stickers of wolves and a dog emblem on my toolbox at work. And they're like, okay, I guess you're probably Dog, but no one calls me Dog. But my manager will sometimes be like, what's up, Dog? I'm like, no, that's not how it...
That's the wrong one.
That's not the way it's just like cat and dog, just Dog. Anyways.
But yeah, that's my favorite story of like when I first kind of got to meet you. Because I did first meet you on that trip, but I don't know if that was like actually first getting to like talk to you. You weren't even talking to me, you were talking to Hunter.
The first time we hung out was at Topgolf. Did we go to Topgolf? When you came?
I mean, I feel like we went to Topgolf to appease Bobby a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I think that was his bachelorette party. Was Bobby was going to Topgolf, so it could have been Topgolf, or it could have been Mike's house, like playing video games. You could have just stopped by.
I don't remember.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like that whole like we were like trying to push like everything into like 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So it was like half the time in Dallas, half the time down here, and then back up to Dallas to fly out. So it's just
when did y'all get together?
Officially January of 2014. We first kind of started seeing each other like October 2013. We weren't like official because he's like, yeah, I'm gonna move back to Texas, and I know I just kept like going on dates with this weird guy, and I was like, well, who's to say I won't like you know if it's like that country music song, you pack up and go with her, like I'll just pack up and go with you, and I was terrified. And,
yeah, for sure.
He was like, are you serious? He's like, I have to go home and I have to like take care of my dad. And then I was like, yeah. And so I made like a life decision and we were just going to go live with Bobby and like take care of him because he kept like fainting at night. And like, that's when he broke his clavicle and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm just going to go live with my boyfriend and his dad. It's in a different state and I won't know anybody else and it'll be fine. Sure. And then like Bobby, we came down in July of 2015 to like, so Seth could show me around and everything. And Bobby was like, hey, surprise, I have a new girlfriend and I'm getting married. And like, well, if you're getting married, is she a fiance or a girlfriend? But so we came down and then we told everybody and their grandma and like we're planning on moving when I graduated in December. And so we moved down in December and that's how I ended up like coming down here. So it worked out. Yeah. I mean, I've been with a guy for 10 years.
Yep. Wow.
Over 10 years. Man. We count the unofficial dating time.
Yeah. Why not?
I just remember because it was like October. I had just turned 23 and then, like Thanksgiving was coming up and like was talking about holidays and invited my house for Thanksgiving or my family's for Thanksgiving. He's like, no, I'm going to my lieutenant's house. And I was like, okay, cool. And then Christmas shows up and like talking about Christmas plans and I stopped and I'm like, I'm not offending you, am I? Like, I don't know what your religion is or like all of that. And he was like, no, you're good. He came to my house for Christmas that year. And then after that, we were like, yeah, it was just official. Like, you stayed the night at my house. You had a holiday. Like, we're a real couple.
Yeah.
But, So, that was how I met you somewhere in there. And how I met my husband.
Yeah, wow. 10 years. It seems like, I don't know, because we were such a tight friend group there for a little while, and then everybody dissipated. But, yeah. Can't believe it's been 10 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, you and Seth have been together for 20 years.
Yeah.
You outpaced me.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, I guess that's a wrap on the interview.
All right.